Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Ooh, welcome back to the 3-0 Take presented by SeatGeek. This is episode 440. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes.
Howdy. Howdy. That was good harmonizing right there.
You cut in a little early though, but it's all right. I'll allow it.
I didn't like the way the introduction started. I was over it. I was ready to come in. Coming in hot.
There are rules here that are in place. There's structure. You can't just come.
I don't think so.
Just can't come in flipping tables like that.
No rules on Sundays.
True.
Sure.
True.
Sometimes Monday for those who are slow. Or have a life.
True. If you're not watching these live, if you're not hanging out with us talking ball live these days, what are you doing? If you haven't noticed, we've mentioned it on the episodes multiple times as of late. We're doing these things live now. Like, yeah, we're going to crank out the podcast afterwards very quickly, I might add. I've got the system down to a science now, man. I can get these things cranked out. But like, if you're not hanging out with us real time, what are you doing?
I know.
You can have your comments featured on the stream, make their way to YouTube, which, by the way, that's a whole nother thing. We're coming up on 1K.
Come on.
How about that?
Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep that momentum going.
I'm gonna have to come up. Let me check. I'm gonna have to come up with a giveaway or some sort of item here.
Yep.
For that, that's a big deal, man. 1K on YouTube.
Let's get it rolling. Let's just
and then we gotta
keep that empire building. That's all we need.
Then we got half the year to reach our goal of 2K. That's what we got to get to. Look, we got some baseball we got to talk about, but before we even do that, I wanted to ask you, well, it is baseball related, but I'm talking more so current events, but I was going to ask you, you have not been to a game yet this year, have you?
Yes.
You have been to a game?
Yeah, when the Yankees were in town.
That's right. That was this year, wasn't it?
Yep.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you going to judge me for not having been to a game yet this year? Considering that it's June 9th.
Oh, like a 4.5. I don't think it's crazy. Your team's not having the best year. It's a frustrating year. It's not like the Nationals are bad as bad as they have been, but it's not like a super enjoyable product. So I don't think I blame you that much. The O's probably need to get to an O's game.
Who do they got coming to town here? Let me check on that real quick.
Get that cooked up. And also we have a connection there. You know?
That's true. Who might I add has been radio silent as of late. I told you this would happen, man. I told you this would happen.
He big leagued us, yeah.
Unreal. Ryan Ripken, what are you doing, guy? Where you been? Where you been at? Oh, dude. This coming weekend, the Phillies are in Baltimore.
There you go. Your other favorite team. Get it going.
That's not. I'm not going to entertain that.
Yeah.
Not going to entertain that.
It's your boy B Harp. Get the jersey on.
No, I the only reason I asked is because I was sitting there beating myself up the other day because I was like, I've yet to go to a game, and it's June, and I feel like I deserve some sort of judgment or ridicule.
I'd like for you to go and wear that.
We can save this for another bet down the stretch. Like I have to wear this to whatever game, like some game at some point this year that I go to. We could do that.
You're dressed like Marlins man. Marlin man's like
dude, that could
poor cousin.
No joke. This could become a thing. Like who's the guy, who's Billy Bean at the Nats game? Like what's this all about? And I mean that means I'd probably have to go to a handful of games to get noticed. But
yeah,
you know what? Maybe I just
spend some money to be in the camera angle.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I just put all the eggs in one basket, go to one game, and just commit to sitting like first row behind home plate.
All out. Marlon Man's right here in the Yankees game right now.
That's a shame.
That's
a real shame. Let's talk some current events. Well, pump the brakes. One more item here before we get to actual current events. Can we talk about this game Friday? I think it was Friday night. The Padres D-backs game. I only wanted to bring this up because of the blowback that I was getting on social. Otherwise, probably would have just let this slide, not even made mention of it. The Jake Cronenworth AB. Did you see the video?
No.
Pull up the Jake Cronenworth AB to end the game on Friday night.
Yeah.
You did
the
see
fastball up and away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you give me your honest thoughts there? I obviously know how I feel. I was getting a lot of blowback on my take that I attached to said video when I posted it.
Did you?
A lot of let's just say people that I would probably guess stop playing baseball after coach pitch.
There you go. Double down. Double down on that.
What are your thoughts on that, AP? On that pitch? On the decision to not swing the bat because it was perceived as out of the zone?
Here's what I will say. I didn't watch that game. I guess we can look up the scorecard now. But I don't know how bad he was throughout the game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many calls he missed throughout the game. This was, you said Friday, right?
Yeah, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're listening along or watching along, pull up on your phone the clip of Jake Cronenworth's AB to end the game on Friday versus the D-backs. There was a lot of people, specifically Padres fans, understandably so, that were enraged about enraged, man. I'm not even exaggerating. If you look at some of the comments, it's probably pretty raw. So I get it from that perspective, but they were livid. And I'm like, this is not as egregious as you folks are making it out to be. Like,
yeah, it really wasn't that bad.
It's a questionable call, no doubt. But these folks were losing their minds. And all the people in the comment section were like, it's not even close. It's not even close. It absolutely was close.
Very close.
What are we talking about? And it's these people that, again, have, and I hate pulling this card all the time, but it's people that clearly have never played the game, and they're going, that ball is inches off the plate. I'm like, do you think Jake Cronenworth has time in the middle of the pitch while the ball is mid-flight to pull out a ruler and run the Pythagorean theorem to determine whether or not it's within the realm of warranting a swing? Because I'm going to tell you, if it's coming in mid-90s, upper 90s, touching a hundo, whatever it was, probably doesn't have the ability or the time to do that. So real time, that pitch is coming in, it's going to look a lot closer. And really, it's my issue is with the K zone.
Yeah.
Or was this Friday? Actually, I think it was Thursday. It may have even been Thursday night, but we haven't had a chance to address it yet. Now that I'm thinking back on it, I think it was Thursday night. But the K zone, man, the K zone is turning people into absolute armchair umpires.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
And as a Yankee fan, you can confirm that the K zone that they're showing for Aaron Judge mathematically is not relative to what a guy like they've proven it. You pull up, I think it's Altuve's K zone.
Yeah.
obviously a major height difference there. They've proven that it's these K zones are not relative to one another. And I think you can throw Soto into the mix. I think I saw a post that compared all three and how they're just not like they're not proportionate to one another. So don't be using the K zone as evidence for or against.
That and I think that, I mean, some broadcasts, you hear it. Some broadcasts will be like, the K zone isn't official. Like, this isn't like the official one. They're all like relative to that like specific broadcasting channel. Some don't show it, some do. I would say most do. But overall, like it, and you made a good point with your next tweet. Took two down the middle before that. So it's like, I don't know. It's clear that a lot of people haven't been in the box and been in that situation. You know what I mean? Where there's guys on and just, you know, the game's on the line, 2 strikes against you. It's just, this is a perfect pitch. It helps that I think Gabby Moreno was catching. It helps that he was already kind of standing up a little bit. Dude hit a spot. This is a perfect pitch. But that's again like the difficulty of I don't know if that K zone, you see the 3D one versus the 2-dimensional one. Like, I don't know if that pitch, because I don't think people realize that the 3 or 4 feet from the front of the plate to the catcher's glove, you're still going to have movement. Especially like that looked like a 2-seamer that was just, you know, kind of tailing away. Like, you're still going to have movement. That ball's still going to, by the time it gets to the catcher, that's still sliding away. At the front of the plate, it might have caught the front corner. So I think I've seen a lot worse calls. So again, I made this point when that Orioles White Sox infield fly double play nonsense. It wouldn't have been this big of a deal if it didn't end the game.
Right.
That happens in a different part of the game, in the middle of the game. Not that big of a deal, but I don't know. I don't know why this one specifically is blowing up. And I did look up the scorecard, by the way, and it was average. Like it wasn't anything. It was plus like 0.12 runs towards the Diamondback side. He had like a 94% accuracy on the day, which is what average umpires get. So like, I don't know. Not that bad. Cronenworth just needs to be better in that situation, man. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with what you said.
This was my favorite comment on the video I posted on Instagram. Somebody said, "If it's close," referencing what I said, where I had tweeted that the K zone has just nerfed people into forgetting that like swinging, if it's close, is a real thing. Mm-hmm. Especially when there's 2 strikes, especially when it's to end the game.
Yep.
The guy, somebody goes, "If it's close," proceeds to be 5.3 inches off the plate. To which I responded, "Did you really just type that out and still decide to hit send?" That right there perfectly summarizes I don't want to generalize here, but there's a percentage of new baseball fans who are so fixated on numbers to where they think 5.3 inches off the plate.
I don't think they understand that
can be determined mid-flight.
Yeah.
And that 5.3 inches is not worth taking the bat off your shoulder because
what's the width of a baseball? Is it 3 inches?
It's maybe a baseball and a half. About, yeah, and approximately 3 inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what do you folks hear what you're saying?
Tail away too. Like that's where he's catching it 4 feet past the front of the zone. It's going to look very different.
At least exaggerate, man. Don't give me 5.3 inches off the plate and act like that's a mile. Anyway, speaking of miles, we don't talk miles here anymore. It's all about the kilometers.
The meters.
The meters, baseball, isn't it?
It's Tuesday.
Crumpets. It's Tuesday.
Oi, oi, oi.
It's Tuesday.
Oh, is that Aussie? I think Aussie's.
Yeah, it's Aussie. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Same thing.
That's all right. That's all right.
There's just no. Technically, Aussies are just British prisoners. You know, if anyone understands history.
True. Wow. History bomb from the clouds.
Yeah. Just British lawbreakers. So,
Wow. I rescind the boo.
Thank you.
That's fair.
Appreciate that.
I'll allow it. Mets and Phillies split in the London series. Phillies take game 1, score 7-2. Mets in a wild one in game 2, score 6-5. Finishing in, I believe, the bottom of the 9th. Came down to the wire. I watched it.
It did.
Man, I really thought I really thought they were going to throw it away there on that last play. I really thought they were going to do it.
It's an awkward play. It's a super awkward play for a catcher.
Exactly. There's just so many moving parts. Like Castellanos' bat had exploded at the plate. You got this little dribbler. You got the base. I think the bases were juiced at that point. A lot of moving parts. You got the fans and the crowd. Oi, oi, oi. Crumpets Tuesday, mate. All that. Just
Fancy some chips.
Fancy some fish and chips. Brief pause in the action. Steve Cohen did you see his quote from this weekend?
No, what did he say?
He said, I want to pull it up, but he was talking about the food. You didn't see his quote about the food? Mm-mm. Oh, I thought, I mean, you're not a New Yorker, but I mean, you may as well be. You're a West Coast, or you're an Arizona New Yorker. You're not really a New Yorker.
That works, I guess. I don't know how to take that.
I mean, this should be.
Are you saying my
point
palate?
is,
I have a sophisticated palate.
My point is that this should insult you as someone who visits New York frequently.
Okay.
He says, "I love London. I think the food here is fantastic. I think it's better than the food in New York." London is well known for having garbage, like all of Britain, England, UK. Well known for having horrendous food.
It's such a...
And you have a guy here that can afford literally anything he wants.
It's such a disappointing comment. Maybe venture outside of Queens and go get some real food, you know?
I mean, that's just insane. I couldn't believe it when I thought it was parody when I saw it, but he actually said it.
Yeah. Enjoy your beans and toast, Steve.
My goodness. What? Just insane. But yeah, a good turnout. Good turnout in London. Game 2. I didn't catch the attendance for game 1. It looked like it was packed, just as game 2 was. Game 2, they had 55,000 turnout. But they were into it, man. The people loved it.
Yeah.
They loved baseball there so much this weekend that they didn't care what rules they broke. They were wearing Philly shirts with Yankee hats. They were wearing Philly shirts with Mets logos on it.
Lawless.
It was unreal.
Yeah. Did you watch I watched that time lapse video of them turning it from the soccer pitch.
Yeah, that's always crazy.
Baseball field. It's nuts what they're able to do, man.
The turf, though, that I just can't do the turf, man.
Yeah.
Which is reminds me of a point that I wanted to bring up. You saw, I'm sure you saw Bryce's soccer celebration, right?
I'm really, really on the fence about it.
You know, I'm a Bryce guy too.
It was pretty cringy.
I hate to say it. I would, you'd be it's a real task to get me to say something
It's
negative
true.
about Bryce Harper.
It's true.
But in the moment I saw that, and I'm like, I just
hated it.
I don't vibe with this, Bryce.
I get what you're doing. It just was cringy. I don't know.
And what makes it worse is they had the hot mic in the dugout, and he said he had been planning it for years.
Yeah.
Like Squints in the Sandlot. He'd been planning it for years.
I don't love
That
the
just
move.
makes it worse.
I really don't love the move.
But my point originally there was the turf. If my man would have blown out a knee or both knees,
Or just like catches,
are you kidding? Who
or
would
if he
prove
just
this?
like nose dives right after. Oof. I don't know. Did you see the post game interview where Rob Thompson was like, "Yeah, he didn't tell me about that." He's like, I'm just glad he didn't get hurt.
No chance he's getting away with that if he mentions that to anybody. He said he didn't tell his teammates because he wanted them to be surprised. To his credit, they loved it. It seems like they were.
I think everyone was just really caught off guard. Let's go, Trent Grisham. Let's go. Let's go. The guy plays twice a month. Taking glass now. Yeah. It's big time. That's big time. I had to flip my phone over because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of national broadcast, but I'm getting the tweets about home runs before it happens. Whoever runs that account, first off, are you okay? Like, are you...
Which account? MLB home runs?
Yeah, like...
No, that's automated. It's automated. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, blink twice if you're, like...
If you're in immediate danger.
Like, chained to your computer in a basement somewhere.
No, it's very much automated. And in fact, I think when Twitter got bought out or whatever by Elon, and they were changing like some of their API stuff, which I know that probably means nothing to most people.
Yeah.
There was a chance that account was no longer going to be a thing because they rely on that stuff, and people were like, they were up in arms, like, no, we can't let this happen. And I think it worked out to it did work out because still kicking, but yeah, it's automated. No worries there.
I love it. Anywho, the slide just didn't. It's difficult for me because like. The vibe that Bryce Harper gives off, like there are things that he does that makes me feel like he tries to be like Jeter-esque, like a stoic, I'm a leader, I'm gonna big league you kind of like tone about.
Can I interject? The play the very tone that you're referring to, the play that makes me think of that every time is the home run he hit against the Padres to send them to the World Series, where the entire park is just losing their minds.
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
he's just like, you can't even tell.
Can't even tell. And then he does stuff like this. And I'm like, Bryce, what are we doing?
There's like there's still like flashes of stuff that he does that like reminds me of like, you know, the eye black being smeared all over his cheeks and Jason Worth being like, we don't do that here. Like, I feel like that part is still in him somewhere. And it's weird. I'm like, you're just too old to be doing this. And it's a weird thing. Like I could never imagine seeing Ohtani or Mookie or Judge. And like, I'm not trying to like make a big deal out of it. Like, it is what it is. I'm not trying to be trying to be like, oh no, this isn't fun. Like, I don't care. It was just weird to see him do it. It was cringy. That's the only way I can feel about it. Second it happened, I was like, I don't like that. And he didn't slide. He didn't slide very far. Like, it was like a really short.
Dude, honestly, I'm just forget like the cringiness aspect of it. I'm just thankful that he didn't blow out both knees. Another thing, I was thinking as I was preparing for this episode, I was thinking, how in the world can we organically bring up Jason Worth? Because I wanted to show Jason Worth some love.
Nailed it. There
Did
you
you
go.
see that?
Yeah. I've seen
And what's crazy is I saw the news about him. Like I had no idea he was into horses, and I
saw it on MLB Network when he was on MLB Central a couple weeks ago, and I was like, really? He was doing an interview, and he was just holding the camera in the stables, freaking horse behind him. Yeah,
I had no clue. Last we heard from Jason Worth was him hitting nukes at a men's softball game.
That's men's league. I think that was just baseball, to be fair, but.
I could have sworn that was softball.
No,
I'm pretty sure that was softball.
For sure, baseball.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's the last we heard of him. But yeah, what's crazy is I was telling you, I was at the horse races last night with my family and just happened to open up my phone, see the feed, and you see Jason Worth there, like holding the trophy of, what was it, the Belmont Stakes that his horse had won. He's like the owner now. I don't know how like the ownership and all that stuff works. You can buy,
it's kind of like a team. Like you can have percentages of it.
That's crazy.
Be like, I'm going to buy 10% of this horse.
So you can have like a majority owner? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
So he's majority owner then?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But yeah, it's like a thing. It's like a team. Like you can have ownership. But you're paying for like the training. You're paying for like the feed and like the housing, I guess. I don't know how else to say that, but yeah.
He's a co-owner of Belmont Stakes winning horse Dornoch.
Love that.
Dude.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, what are the odds? I was like, how can I bring up Jason Worth's Belmont Stakes victory? And you just did it.
I bet if you were to ask Jason Worth, he would have hated that goal celebration.
Probably. Yeah. So putting a bow on this goal celebration. No, it was less about the what are you doing, Bryce, and more of, hey, can we keep both knees, please? I mean,
yeah. Yeah. A couple things I noticed. Number one, Ranger Suarez looked a little off. I wonder if the finger's still okay. Like just didn't look quite like himself. Did you notice, because of like the light and like the opening at the top of the stadium, the sunshine coming in, the center field wall was like completely reflective the first couple innings of the first game.
Yeah,
they had like the hitter's eye above it, and then like the blue wall, and it was like looked like a mirror. I would have struggled. Yeah,
dude. They were talking about it. I think it was they were talking a lot about it today with the ring, the stadium ring.
Yeah.
And the color of the sky at the time, and how it was giving them trouble. And I'm like, it's basically an outdoor version of the Trop, because the Trop gives you the same kind of issues, but they were dealing with a similar problem, except that it was just outside, but the sky was giving off the same appearance as the Trop would. So I felt bad for him in that regard, but that's baseball.
A little bit of some funkiness. There's some little slight funkiness. I saw the play. I think it was like an RBI single that scored Bohm in the first game. It was like in front of Starling Marte and right, and it had like a 95% like catch made percentage, and very much dropped in front. I didn't realize Starling Marte has been that bad in right. I saw a tweet that he's -8 outs above average in right field. And
Not
I'm
good.
Like, didn't he play center field like often between the Pirates in the first couple years with the Mets? I'm like, how did you go from that to this? So that makes sense though. Maybe it was because of just the weird lighting in the stadium and stuff. But yeah. Did you catch the British broadcast?
Dude, I was gonna bring that up. Incredible.
Oh my gosh, it was sick.
That was so good. And look, I'll be the first to tell you, and I was campaigning for it before the series even started. First of all, I'm disappointed that not one guy, at least that I was aware of, took the route of sticking it to the Brits, man. Like, I was expecting Harper. I was expecting maybe Pete Alonso. Any of those, like, Team USA guys that had any affiliation with Team USA over the course of their career. Jeff McNeil. Any of those guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be Pete Alonso. Nobody took the route of sticking it to the Brits. And I was real disappointed. I didn't see any 1776 references, although I saw like that one, the shirt in the stands where it was like the I think it was a Philly shirt, and it said the British
you blew
13 colonies lead. I love that.
That's fire. That's sick.
The fact that we didn't get any of that, but I guarantee you that was addressed beforehand
Probably
by the league.
I'm sure Manfred would have shut that down. But that's so
sure.
like when you think of our revolution, you think of Philly. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was
like no better team to do it, Philly.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
It's a big letdown there.
Manfred shut that down. But yeah, dude, the nothing but love for the British broadcast. That was insane.
It was butter. The fact that he's talking about like closer by committee, Smith instead of Edwin Diaz, like the way he said Castellanos was sick. I loved every second of it. So sick.
Which brings up a bigger conversation here, and it's that like we really, as a sport, dropped the ball on the coverage for this series. I think like Fox, dude. I don't know if you saw the kickback Fox was getting on Saturday.
No,
dude, they botched it, man. It was so bad. They were doing their pregame live from Yankee Stadium because they were covering the Saturday London game, but also had Baseball Night in America for the Yankees Dodgers game.
Yeah.
So they're talking to Poppy, A-Rod, and I think Jeter was there too, in like Monument Park about a game that's happening hours later from a completely different continent. And like, I get it. You got to do what you got to do. But like, there's got to be another route that you can take there, like some sort of exception that you can make to allow some, like, is there not... I know this sounds crazy. I'm kind of just thinking off the top of my head here. Is there not like a UK team for Fox stationed like in London that maybe could take over?
And
like,
not to mention, they had a ton of retired players there. I saw a ton. Like, you couldn't snag any of those guys and throw a stage on the field and get them to talk about it. Like, Utley was there. I saw Ryan Howard there. Like,
Pujols was there.
Yeah, like you had plenty of people to throw up there. People that have probably done some type of pregame show before. Just weird.
Well, for me, it's
weird.
less about even I'll just say to a lesser degree. I think the retired players would have been great because they at least would have been there. But for me, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that even more so than the retired players, like give me like the Brit rundown. Like if we're trying to preach this growing the game, we're trying to preach this baseball in Britain movement.
I would have had an all UK staff for sure.
Like, don't give me a clip of the British broadcast after the game's over, after the series is over, and people are just raving about how great it is. Give that to make that the primary viewing experience for baseball fans.
Yeah,
because
agree.
Like here's the thing, and not a lot of people I think are thinking about it this way. As much of an experience as this is for London and for that side of the pond, it's an experience for us too.
Yeah, agreed.
And if you can, like, if we're giving them the experience on the field,
like, give us the UK, give
us the at home experience on this side of the pond, and let us take in a British broadcast. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how you make that happen. But like for 2 games, you're telling me we can't pull something off? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm watching a pretty controversial play that could be a thing on Twitter tomorrow.
Coming at you real time from Yankees Dodgers Sunday Night Baseball. How about it?
was a first and second no outs Kike bunt attempt that he popped up foul, and Kike was out of the box and was in Trevino's way. They made contact with each other, and Trevino didn't, and now he gets the bunt down. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, I agree. Give me more UK stuff. Like, give me more. I don't want to listen to the same guys. I don't want to listen to the same crew. I don't want the same type of thing. Like, just dive into it a little bit more. It's so weird how they. It reminded me of the what's the game that we're about to get at the old Negro League field in a couple weeks.
What is the name of that
It's
park?
like Rock Field or something like that.
What is the name of that park? I was just reading about that the other day. Rickwood Field.
Rickwood. Yeah.
Rickwood. Birmingham Black Barons.
That's what I was saying, is that it's like, how am I just now finding out about this? Like, why? I didn't know about this. It's like they use the London series to promote that. And I'm like, what? Why are we just now hearing about these things? It crept up on us last week. We were about to record, and I was like, we should probably touch on the London series.
Yeah, probably mention the fact that we're playing
yeah,
across the Atlantic Ocean this weekend.
So weird. It's just so weird how they have so much work to do. They really do.
I mean, look, accountability here. Part of that's on us. Like, we need to be like more aware of these things. But if people that talk baseball on a regular basis aren't seeing this, then how about freaking Joe Blow,
right,
who sells ice cream on the weekends? How is he going to hear about it?
Yep. I'm like going back to opening day. Like, I didn't know was it Korea with the Dodgers? Yeah. I didn't know about that until like a week before.
The Seoul series. Yep.
Yeah. Like, it's so strange. The international stuff, it's like it's almost like a slight to us fans here in America, like your base fans, the reason you have money. It's like a slight to us and a huge hype up over there. I'm all about growing the game. But like, if the whole point of it is to grow the culture with it, like, give us a taste of Korea, give us a taste of London, and just going like random cutaways in between innings, showing the trolley or whatever they call that bus thing. Like, bro, come on, like, show me more. I don't know. Whatever. I'm over it.
No, but look,
cool series though. I liked it overall. Like, I liked it.
I was impressed. I will say that. And I was going to say, my closing thought was that I genuinely was impressed by the response from like the locals. They were into it. And I
like
know
a lot of Phillies fans too.
I was ribbing them for the whole like wearing Yankee hats with like Philly shirts, but you know, like, they got to start somewhere. They don't know. To them, a Yankees hat may as well be an MLB hat. That because worldwide, the Yankees hat is just like your standard baseball hat.
It's like Nike, yeah. Like it's the same logo. But yeah,
a Brit walking around in a Yankees hat is Rob Lowe walking around in an MLB hat stateside.
So
like, it's
weird.
the same thing. You're ultimately supporting the same thing. Like, it's
and Perkins. The shout out, we'll give a little love to Henry in the fantasy league. He made it over there. He's a Phillies fan. Made it over to London, and he was telling us he saw every team represented.
Yeah, that was cool.
Every he saw, whether it be a Rays or a Marlins or, you know, freaking Mariners, like, it was just represented all over the place. I love that. That's sick. And it sounds like that's what the whole point of this is. Yep. You know, just get the game over to the other side. But I think the NFL struggles with that stuff too. You know what I mean? Like, the NFL, like, everyone over here is pissed because the game's at 7 a.m. on Sunday, and make sure your lineups are set. You're like waking up and you're like, there's already a game going? Oh yeah, there's a London game. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I heard Manfred was saying, he's like, we're not sure when we'll be back, but we will be back. So I guess they didn't re-up for more games there.
I didn't see anything about that. I mean, I'd be open to maybe testing out some other locations. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be all for that. Like we've been there for what now? Like,
I think that was the fourth one.
yeah, because we started with the Yankees Red Sox back in like, was that 19?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we've been over there for a handful of years now. Like, I wouldn't hurt. I mean, we can go back, sure.
Yeah. It was Cardinals Cubs last year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard on the broadcast Harper had the idea of sending 4 teams over for like a week and then them just doing like a little round robin thing.
That'd be sick.
You get more teams over there. You get
in-season tournament. Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it.
Make it a big thing. I would like that.
I wouldn't hate it.
But go to places where baseball's, trying to take off. You know what I mean? I'm going to Curacao on my honeymoon. And I was like, or Aruba. Like I told you, I was just randomly walking down the boardwalk in Aruba and I see a high school Xander Bogaerts commemoration like by the bathrooms. I'm like, that's sick. Like go to places like that. Like I get the whole London thing. I get that it's a big market, but like go grow the game in those little countries that we're having like stars come out of from freaking nothing, man.
I'm all about it. 20 questions.
Oh boy. Active or retired?
Retired.
Dead or alive?
Alive. Keep track.
Infield or outfield?
Infield.
Retired, alive, infield. Hall of Fame or no Hall of Fame?
No Hall of Fame.
No Hall of Fame. Infielder. I'm gonna waste them. First base.
First base.
Ooh, that's good. Lefty or righty?
Lefty.
For both throw and hit?
Yes.
Not Hall of Fame. Oh, this is so tough. Did he win an MVP?
No.
Carlos Delgado. No. I don't even know if he played first base.
It was John Olerud.
Oh, man.
Dude, you got to be like I know. It's easy for me to sit here on the other side of the timer and tell you to pick it up, but like, and I understand you're trying to like process names, but you got to like you just have to like you need to be like cranking questions off.
That's true. No excuse to only get through 8 questions when I have 20 to work with.
That's a minute. Just for reference.
I need you to be able to do this. And I think you need to see the difficulty. I need to be able to throw that. You can still do the music.
You want to do it right now? I got the timer. I can play it. This isn't how the game's supposed to go. It's supposed to be you on the hot seat every time, but
okay, go.
You have a name already?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Infield, outfield.
Infield. No, I can't answer questions for you. You got to say yes or no, right?
Just answer the question. Infield.
Infield.
American League, National League.
National League.
Retired, not retired.
Retired. You said Hall of Fame.
You said National League?
Yeah.
National League East.
Yeah. Sometime there, a lot of time there.
Phillies.
No.
Mets.
Yes.
Not David Wright. You said Hall of Fame. Lefty, righty.
Righty.
For both?
Yes. Guess.
Ugh. No, there's no timer. I can't make any more. I can't take any more guesses or questions.
Oh, well, if I knew that rule.
A Hall of Famer that spent time, a Hall of Fame infielder that spent time in the Mets with the Mets. Dude, I have no idea. Is Keith Hernandez in the Hall of Fame?
I don't
Is
know.
Keith
but
Hernandez
that's not
even
him.
an infielder? I don't remember.
Stud first baseman, but no, that's not the name.
Who was it?
Mike Piazza. Trick one. That's a tricky one.
Oh,
Catcher-
infielder, come on.
Catcher's a tricky one. But I saw a random thing on Twitter today where it was like a picture of him where he had like bleached hair. And the tweet was like, am I old or young for not knowing the fact that he had bleached hair? And then it made me think of the good old days, bro. On the All-Star team.
Oh, yeah.
Used to bleach my hair.
When you had it.
Felt like Eminem.
That was the move.
That was the move.
That's what we did back in the day. All right. I think I got close, like 10 questions off. So, I'll maybe entertain.
Now you know. Now you feel the pressure.
I'll maybe entertain, or maybe we just go 10 questions rather than 20.
All right.
We'll have to be a little more intentional with our questions. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we extend the clock. Maybe we just go 10 questions.
You see what there's only like the active or retired Hall of Fame,
Sure.
not Hall of
Yeah.
Fame. You got to get those. It just really just narrows it down quickly.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
I
Oh,
love
man, that was stressful.
I know.
That was stressful.
John Olerud, what made you go there?
I don't know. I told you, like with the Omar Vizquel, for the first time we did it last episode, there was no rhyme or reason. It was just, I just went with the first person I thought of. And for some reason, I was thinking John Olerud today. Don't know why.
Love that.
Couldn't tell you. Dodgers-Yankees series. Wrapping up as we speak, but a World Series preview nonetheless, possibly.
That'd be nice.
Any takeaways from this weekend?
Yeah, I think you can tell that like I'm really enjoying this Yankee season, but I'm not like loud and proud about it. I think there's some obvious holes, and a lot of that stuff was exposed this weekend on like a national scale. Rizzo is an issue. Boone just blowing through the bullpen like he does every year in the first half is an issue. Bullpen just doesn't look great. Nestor is not what Nestor used to be. That's quickly fading. And the Dodgers, like, it just waking up. It seems like they showed a lot of stats of like the 1 through 4 in the lineup. When they go, the Dodgers go. And I didn't realize that the bottom, 7, 8, 9, I think may even include the 6th spot, is like some of the worst in baseball. Muncy being out, kind of causes some issues there. But I overall, like, I think you could tell from the energy in the stadium, you could tell from the way guys were talking, this felt different. And I know there's a lot of people on Twitter, especially on the Yankee side, like, just relax. Don't bring Soto back. Like, don't even worry about these games. Don't really matter that much. Like, don't fall for the hype. But at the same time, like, I'm okay with the hype. And
Don't
I think the
fall
players
for the
are.
hype.
Yeah.
They're
I
selling
know.
Otani jerseys and hats in the
That's what I'm
team
saying.
store.
That's what I'm saying.
They care about this series.
Like, it's okay. And that's totally fine. Like, it's okay for these guys to feel a little hyped up. It's okay for Dodgers fans to be walking down the street behind cop cars to get to the stadium. Like,
God forbid we care about a regular season series in the middle of June.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to hype that up. It's okay to have these matchups feel different because they are rare. Like, you don't get to see the Dodgers in Yankee Stadium often. You don't get to see the Yankees in Dodger Stadium often. So when it does happen, like, it's okay for it to feel a little bit different than the freaking Twins. Like, it's all right to hype that up. It's all right for players to feel a little bit different. My fandom and like adoration of Juan Soto grows more and more every freaking series. And Friday, like, him being like unavailable with the elbow stuff, But seeing him Friday, like on the top step, he's got batting gloves on. He's got the bat in hand. Like, he's like, I want this. Like, I want to be there. It's hard. It's genuinely hard for me to imagine him going elsewhere. If the Yankees are willing to write the check that he deserves, it's hard for me to imagine him playing anywhere else. Whether this ends with a ring or without a ring this year.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, no ring, job's not finished. I want to come back. Ring, let's go get another one. Let's build on it. It just feels like he is a Yankee.
Well, I mean, what does that say about the value of Juan Soto if you go all this? I mean, 2009, we're talking about. What does that say about the New York Yankees going that long without a ring, and then all of a sudden Juan Soto shows up to town, and then they bring a World Series title back to the Bronx? Like, yeah, I would say maybe that's a factor that you should consider reinserting into the equation in 2025 and beyond. Yeah.
Fully concur. Also didn't know, I'm saying this literally with him hitting right now. I didn't know Ohtani is trash at Yankee Stadium. Like, his numbers are not good.
Sounds like he all dodged a bullet, maybe.
I don't know. It's an 0-1 count right now. 2-run.
I hope he goes yard here.
I'm gonna hate myself, dude. What was my last thought? Oh,
wait, can I
bro,
can I put a bow on the Soto thing real quick?
Sure.
To add to your point about his value, I mean, it's obvious the value he brings, but to add to it, I see that he's only coming into tonight's game, the Sunday Night Baseball game. I think the Yankees had only scored like 4 runs in the previous 23, 24 innings without Soto. So, like, certainly
coming into what?
Coming into tonight's game, I think they had the Yankees offense, sans Soto, had only scored like 4 runs in the previous 23, 24 innings.
Yeah.
So very much a case of when he goes, they go.
To be fair, he hasn't really missed anything as far as games go. Like, he's barely missed anything. But yeah, it's been a struggle the last few days. Anyway.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I know it's viral. I sent it to the group chat, and I know I'm a couple days late here, but just hit a double to left. A little squibber down the third baseline.
Clap it up.
I know. Ridiculous. I shouldn't have said anything. The Kike interview. We gotta stop with this stuff. The booted ball at third base and like 90 seconds of silence. And Kike's like, you can see it that he's fuming. And then finally he breaks the silence with, what question did you ask me? Like,
oh, is that what he said? Because I saw the clip, but it cut before anybody said anything. And I'm like,
no.
How long does this go on for?
Yeah, I know. He was like, what did you ask me?
Oh my gosh.
And what's his face? Eduardo Perez was just like, I don't want to ask again because I don't want you to bad. I don't want you to boot it.
So bad. Dude, we're sitting there tonight watching the game, and I don't
know if it was Eduardo, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
It probably was. It was probably Ravage.
Ravage is on there now.
Wait.
Friday was Apple TV.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna say that wasn't ESPN.
That's who it was. It was Xavier Scruggs. Xavier Scruggs.
Yeah, tough luck.
Side note. No, keep going. Sorry.
I was just gonna say we're sitting there watching the game tonight, Sunday Night Baseball, and who were they interviewing tonight on the field? They had Verdugo, but there was somebody else. They did
Teoscar.
They did Teoscar. That's okay. That's what I thought. We're sitting there, unprompted. I'm sitting. I think I was like pulling some notes together for the episode, and Meredith walks around the corner. She goes, "Are they doing what I think they're doing?" I said, please go on. And she was like, that's
Share your
so
thoughts.
stupid. And I'm like, I'm glad you said that because I didn't say anything to prompt that. So I'm glad from your point of view, from your perspective, you have these feelings because it probably means that there are probably other just casual viewers of the game that feel the same way. And she was like, they don't do this in any other sport.
Yeah.
Like no other sport are you in the middle of a game as a professional athlete at literally the highest level. And they're going, yeah, so tell us about that bagel you got down at the New York deli this morning on your way to the ballpark. Like nobody cares.
Bro. Ridiculous. Yeah, the awkwardness of that. He booted the ball. It goes silent. Then Scruggs was like, well, I don't want to ask you again because I don't want you to boot another ball. And then Kike didn't even laugh. I'm like, this is horrendous. This is so awkward.
I'm glad. We need more of it.
Proceeds to get picked off at first the next half. I'm like, bro,
I saw that.
He's got to be fuming. He's never going to do another interview. But what I was going to say, actually, now, like, as much as I'm dogging on it, like, I didn't mind the Apple. Apple games don't bug me that much. They fixed the crew. Like, the broadcast group is better.
Well, it's all respective to the place they're at, right? Don't they change it based on?
I have no idea. I try not to watch them.
I think they pull. I don't want to say like representatives from each team, but for lack of a better way of saying it, I think they usually try to pull like somebody with some connection to the teams.
Because I know MLB Network is obviously studios in New York, but I like it. I like the score bug. I don't love like the little stat numbers, but like sometimes they're useful and different. I don't know. It's
the
not
video
that bad.
quality is insane.
Video quality is absurd. Like
insane.
Way better than any other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that, but
they've got it down. Yeah, but speaking of Teoscar, dude, what did the Yankees do to Teoscar? Man hates the Yankees.
He has done that since he was Blue Jay.
Man owns the Yankees.
Yeah.
He had the go-ahead hit in the 11th on Friday and then hit 2 jacks Saturday. Did he have wasn't it like 6 RBIs on Saturday? And I think he's doing it again tonight.
Yeah. Yep.
What's going on there, man? Why don't you have an answer for Teoscar Hernandez? You're telling me
there, bro.
You're telling me of that lineup that the Dodgers are toting out there. He's
having a good year. He's having a good year.
That's the guy that's giving you the headache. That's baseball.
Yeah.
That's baseball.
Yeah.
Did you? Speaking of the Dodgers, did you see the? Well, I think you already touched on it a little bit, but the crowd, what was up with that, dude? They were rolling deep. On Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool to see, man. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't sit here and tell me this is the same thing. Like, it's Dodger fans in New York City that haven't gotten to see their team in this stadium in a while. Like, it's cool. It's fun. Like,
well, I think most of it was them traveling. Like, I think.
You think so?
I think Dodgers fans travel well. Like, I say what you will about the fan base, but as a unit, I think they travel pretty well. Is my understanding.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's dope. Great series. It did not disappoint. It really didn't. I know that Saturday was a little bit of like a blow up game, but it was mainly because of that grand slam. But overall, it was a heck of a series. I told you it was a series to watch. I hope you guys listened.
Well, like I said, if it wasn't for the London series this weekend, I wouldn't have even submitted a series to watch over the weekend. I'd be like, just go with what Nate's telling you because there wasn't a better series on TV this weekend. Closing us out here, just want to run through a few names, give some guys their flowers for their recent performance. Some guys that have been dudes lately. Elliot Ramos for the Giants, which didn't know it was pronounced Elliot with the H. Guess the H doesn't matter there. Elliot Ramos of the Giants.
So you added him in fantasy.
Yeah, I think I was like a quick ad drop scenario over the weekend.
Elliot, Heliot.
Yep, Elliot Ramos. He's hitting 423.
Sure.
With 11 hits, 4 homers, 10 ribbies, and 5 runs scored in his last 7 games. Over that span, he has an OPS of 1469.
It's pretty good.
On the season, 105 ABs. He's hitting 314, 6 home runs, 23 ribbies, and an OPS of 938. I even heard on, I don't remember what broadcast it was, but I heard some conversation about him possibly making an appearance at the All-Star game. Not necessarily as like a vote getter per se, but guys will finagle their way in somehow, some way as a representative, like a fan or what's the secondary way they get in? Because you have like the fan vote, but then what?
Manager vote, I think.
Is it a manager vote or something? Some way, somehow, it's possible that we'll see Ramos at the All-Star game, but time will tell.
Keep it up.
Matt Waldron, Mr. Knuckleballer of the Padres. Since May 11th, he's had six starts. He's 3-1 with an ERA of 1.78 over that span, 39 strikeouts, and a WHIP of .91. He's actually one of the top producers in fantasy over that stretch.
Love me a good knuckleballer.
Since May 11th, that span, he's had outings with 7, 8, and 10 strikeouts.
Love me a good knuckleballer.
Not bad for knuckleballer. And then another arm that I'm happy for this dude. After a rocky start, raising a lot of eyebrows, raising a lot of questions, like was what we saw last year a little bit of a fluke? He's turned it around for now. Hunter Brown of the Houston Astros.
Mm-hmm.
In his last 3 appearances since May 28th, he's gone at least 6 innings every start. He's sporting an ERA with a clip of 2, 23 strikeouts.
That's pretty good. Added him in fantasy as well. Snagged him.
Over that span, since May 28th, his last 3 appearances, he had 9 strikeouts on May 28th, 7 strikeouts on June 2nd, and 7 strikeouts on June 8th. So that 23 strikeouts I told you about over that stretch, he's spreading them out.
Yeah.
He's spreading them out, which you love to see. And then also you go to start before that stretch, before the start before May 28th, May 22nd, he also went 6 innings deep. He only gave up, he threw 6 innings, a 2-hit ball.
Yeah. If they are able to do anything this year, he has to be a part of the mix. Too many guys have gone down.
Christian Javier, I think it was over the weekend. No?
Yeah.
You just found out, or maybe just before the weekend, found out he's done for the year, I believe.
Yep.
So they've been that rotation's been taking their licks, man.
Yeah.
That is tough.
Yeah. He needs to go. He needs to get it going. So good for him. Good for my team. Appreciate it, Hunter. Keep it up. If you want.
If you want.
If you don't, I'll just drop you. Oh,
if you want to keep a job. Well, let's let Nate get back to watching this game. That's all I really got. Just wanted to main takeaway here. The Brits love baseball.
And I love the Brits as much as I make fun of your beans and toast. I love that one British
It's still
broadcaster.
too soon, man. It's still too soon.
I love that one broadcaster.
Still too soon. Still a
He
little
did
salty
great.
about the whole pre-1776 thing. but maybe with time. But still too soon. I can't quite
I'd
say I
like
love
to
the Brits.
know what taxes looked like back then compared to now, because I feel like we're right there, you know?
Yeah, we gotta be knocking on the door of throwing some tea overboard here soon.
We need to throw a fit here soon, I
Like,
think.
and it's not even the Brits' fault, honestly. Like, but maybe we can just blame them for our problems this time again. Who knows? We'll see.
Just saying.
Oh, getting real political here. Let's get out of here. Let's get some tea. Brit, baseball, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Let's head down to the pub.
Head down to the pub. Watch the Phillies and the Mets.
Yeah. I ran out of stuff. What else did I say?
Well, that'll about do it.
See you Tuesday. I love it. Not just kidding. We'll see you.
No, we'll see you guys Wednesday. We'll see you Wednesday. And as always, if there's anything that you feel like we've been missing or anything you want us to talk about, feel free to let us know. Reach out on Twitter, reach out on Instagram. Email me if you want. I guess you can do that via our website, 30take.com. And just let us know. I'll just hit us up. I'll find it. I'll see it.
Subscribe, please.
Yes, please subscribe to the YouTube. We're almost to 1,000. That's huge.
Hey now, governor.
Let's go down to the pub. That's all.
What do they say? Parlay in parts of the Caribbean. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Don't go chasing curveballs. Don't go chasing no curveballs, mate.
Down to the pub. We love y'all. And as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.